My name's Evelyn Armstrong. I'm from a company called Topaz Digital, which is a digital screens provider, OEM supplier of software and digital screens from Canada, as well as Europe, UK, and Asia. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pushpa. I'm Sophie Bennett, and my company is Achievers International. So although not directly a tech company now, actually I'm a professional speaker and a writer on motivation and leadership. But my background is in tech. So I started off 25 years ago as a tech author, and I was documenting IT systems right at the time when we were moving from paper to screen-based. So nobody knew how to navigate information. People no longer start at the beginning of a book and work to the back. They sort of unexpectedly dived in and not on home pages and things like that. So I'm an information organization expert, and then I went on to become head of content for Dell. One of the people that inspired me early on was a guy. Who's heard of Brian Tracy? The speaker, personal development person? Okay. And I remember listening to Brian's tapes in the car when I was transitioning out of sport a very, very long time ago. I had no idea what I was going to do. And Brian just did all his teaching through stories, and I found that absolutely riveting. I was very lucky to interview Brian for the book, actually, which was great, and met him a few times when he comes to the UK. So Brian and his storytelling and his inspiring ideas, number one. I'll do a one that somebody inspired me last week, because it was a woman in IT. She's in her mid-20s. She's just been awarded Entrepreneur of the Year in Sweden and had her award presented to her by the King of Sweden, a lady called Paulina Olsen. And Paulina is a really great example of what I was saying with the last question. She is co-founder of a business called Peppy Pals, which teaches emotional intelligence, or EQ, to school-aged children between 5 and 9 years old. And so they've got these little characters, they interact on a screen, and it's gamified, but it's not score-based. So it's not trying to beat people or win things, it's trying to win friends. And they do it by learning how to be empathetic to people, how to interact, how to build relationships, and it's taking hold like wildfire. It's being pushed by Stanford University and various institutions all around the world. So she is an inspiration. She's 25 years old. She's co-founded this company. She's raised millions of dollars in funding. She speaks 4 languages and she codes. And she's pulled this team together. So it just shows you what's possible. And another lady I interviewed for my book was a lady called Judy Narker, who started off a business selling beauty products out of the back of her car. She's not in tech, but she's still very inspirational. And Judy, 11 years to the day from selling bottles of tanning lotion from the back of her car, making her own sandwiches to train the beauticians because she couldn't afford to buy them. So she got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, made the sandwiches, drove to a local town, or drove to towns all over the country, fed people, trained them, showed them how to use the product, and then she sold the business for £65 million 11 years to the day later after she started it. And she's just won an MBE for her services to entrepreneurship. And when I interviewed her, I said to her, you know, what motivated you, because the book was about motivation, what motivated you to do that? She said, Sophie, I was just trying to feed my son and pay my mortgage because I was on my own. And I think a lot of women find themselves in that position.